Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we're starting something new. This is big night just for new things. So a little bit earlier, over on the Focus TV, we debuted our mailbag. So that was cool. Got that done. Looking forward to next week already. This is called Kargeor's World. Just explain what this is. Been talking for a minute to try to get stuff going. Just want to do a little bit, create some additional content, and we haven't had a chance. It's been kind of busy. Want to take a chance to get back into it. So this is really just a place to talk about literally just what's in my wacky mind. Not everything, because we want to take you guys too far down a rabbit hole. But essentially just we have a lot of great conversations as a staff, whether it's Mono Sports, it's Finest Mag, the Focus TV, that you guys aren't really privy to. So what we're going to try to do is pull the curtain back a little bit. So we're going to try to share with you guys a little more of the typical discussions that we do have. We're going to bring different people on that I know. We're going to have, the youngsters on. We got Domo and Dap on right now. So Jerrell, Leeper, Dominic Rowe. I'm Wilson Tarbe Jr. if you guys weren't aware of that yet. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a couple minutes every week just to talk shop. Just normally talk shop. Give you guys a chance to tune in, chime in. But joining us tonight, we got my cousin Justin Walters, Sports Ruckus. That's what he does. Is the site over there. They do a great job, and also he is a contributor for NFL Draft Bible. So, Justin, what's going on this evening, man?
No, not much, man. Thanks for having me.
Nah, man, we're happy to have you, man. I always call you telling you we're gonna get you on, and it never happens. So it's good to finally tell you the truth, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, so tonight we're gonna take advantage of you calling in. Gonna take 5-6 minutes of your time. A lot going on in football. We're finally getting to that part of the year, seeing senior bowl invites go out. We know bowl games is that time. We're also seeing that some players already planning to skip, bowl games. A couple years ago, people when this was almost unfathomable. You want to talk about it, or if somebody did it. We just saw last year where, depending on who you were, what was going on, people attacked you for it. Now at Texas, which is best of my knowledge, unless I fell and bumped my head, it's not like they're competing for anything much this year. 3 or 4 players already said they're not playing in the bowl game this year. You surprised by this?
I think like you said, they kind of pick and choose who to attack. But in this situation, if you're playing in a national championship game, it's one thing. But if you're playing in the green eggs and ham ball or whatever you want, injury has to scare a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Then there's some of the other stuff we were talking. You and I talk a lot, especially last year with the Carson and Dak stuff. You go look back to last year when Dak had a better supporting cast, a more stable supporting cast. It's kind of flipped this year. The Eagles made it about their business to make sure that the young boy wasn't going to be left out in the dark like that ever again. Mm-hmm. They retooled the offense. Even with Jason Peters going down, the offensive line still doing a very, very good job, because that meant that the front office put their work in. Then you look at Dallas, you lose Zeke. Obviously, that's a huge blow. You lose Tyron Smith. But you look at the Eagles lost, an all-world left tackle, too. Dallas loses one. And the gap in between Tyron Smith and his backup is like high school sophomore and NFL All-Pro. Meanwhile, the Eagles lose Jason Peters, and they don't skip. They're still 10-1. So you just want to talk about, you said this a couple times on the phone with me. Just talk about front office, how they attack things. Just, here's a chance, a bigger platform. Just go ahead and share your thoughts. Just the same thing we usually talk about, just how these two teams in the same division went about this and how they went about it right or wrong.
I think a big thing with a lot of these teams is, I'm big into team building and with the draft and everything, but it's teams like the Cowboys who, they have a big season and they believe the hype. They thought they had everything already, and that's not how the game works. Sometimes you go 11-2, 11-5, whatever, but you have to keep adding. And they noticed the Cowboys, they basically they a little high on what they had already. Whereas the Eagles, they kept building. They gave them gave Wentz too much stuff. But when you got a young quarterback, you got to protect them. And the coaching plays a part as well. If the Cowboys are planning on being a Super Bowl team and they had that much, Zeke makes that big of a difference, then You know, they're not the team that, you know, and that's a big issue. You know, the coaching, the players you surround your guy with. I mean, you got Wentz looking like a all-world player, and I mean, maybe he is, but I don't think it's that big of a. He made that big of a jump in one season. It's part of that coaching and talent you put around the guy.
Right. You guys, any questions for Justin?
With you saying when you spoke about character, so I have this question for you. If you have a great player that's coming out in the draft, such as Zeke Elliott, but he has some character concerns, but he's a great player, would you still take Ezekiel Elliott, or would you take the player that's maybe not as good, but his character is great? So does that come into, concern, any type of concern to you?
I mean, it has to be, especially, nowadays with the internet and, people having cell phones and that kind of thing. That's a big thing. But, I mean, when you get a once-in-a-lifetime talent, you could lose your job either way. You take him and he blows up in your face. You don't take him, he's a star somewhere else. So, I mean, you got to – every situation is different. You talk to the guy. They got to get to know him the best they can. I mean, they got private investigators and everything you can think of to dig in on these guys. And you can still be wrong. But, I mean, I think you just got to get to a point where you feel comfortable with them,
All right, I got to...
I think. I'm sorry, to cut you off, but I think when you're dealing with a tie where it's close, you got two kids that are, one's ranked at 80, one's a 77, now you might go with the 77. But when you got those world-class talents, because a lot of them, they're young kids, so some of them will, maybe if you look into to what the actual issue is, and digging that way.
All right, my last question for you. All right, so everyone, I know Cleveland fans are going crazy. For them, almost every year is like draft day, the movie, except it hardly ever pans out that way. There's that excitement when the draft starts. Then it's like, yeah. Then, 2 weeks in the season, it's like, well, next year, let's look at next year's crop of quarterbacks. So we were just talking about two young guys in the same division. Situations played out a little bit differently due to the front office. If you're Cleveland, and my guy Emery Hunt's talked about this a couple times, as has another one of his colleagues, Brandon Howard, and I'm kind of on board with those guys. You have DeShone Kizer. If it's me personally, you take this draft, you try to get a Saquon Barkley, you add to this thing instead of continually trying to just rebuild. Why not just put the pieces around him and find out what happens, and then build your football team, and then even if DeShone's not your guy, then you just have to find your guy or a guy that fits. Versus, you're trying to get the guy, and everything else around him still isn't right.
Right.
So, I guess I'm just asking straight up: if it's you, do you keep Kizer and just keep adding to it, or do you scrap it?
I mean, I was high on Kizer, and there's like we talked about with the coaching. I think you look what he has. I mean, he's throwing to players that shouldn't be in the league or won't be in the league much longer. The coach looks like he doesn't want him. And it's just a bad team. So, I mean, you let the kid work, and he's looked better the last couple of weeks. Just keep adding talent around him. And then, like you said, even if it doesn't work out, you plug someone in there. It's a fine-tuned vehicle. I mean, you want a nice, you got a flat tire, you ain't going nowhere. You just slowly build the parts around them. And they got 75 draft picks over the next couple of years. So, they keep adding these picks, maybe move up and down the draft, and that's what you want to do. And it's easy to say that, but now you're on the verge of going 0-16. Now you're panicking, But you have a process, you got a plan, you go with it. Keep adding those parts. You put Barkley around him. You get him a receiver, maybe a Ridley or one of the many free agent receivers coming out, and you got tons of money because you got all rookies. So just got to be patient. Cleveland ain't been good in years, so another year or two ain't gonna kill nobody.
Facts. So, want to thank you for calling in, man. We're going to definitely hear from you again as we get closer to this draft thing where everybody loves to mess things up, especially bowl season. But you have a great night, and thanks for calling in, cuz. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And tell everybody where they can follow you at for your work, sir.
You can follow me at Sports Ruckus on Twitter, and I'll be contributing around draft season for NFL Draft Bible.
All right, man. You have a great night. So,
you too, everybody.
Dap. Had a bunch of topics to kind of discuss, but we want to get into something. So just because this is the first episode, I want to tell everybody what we're going to do here. When we got you guys on, you wonderful youngsters, Just talk about just so far. I guess let's take a couple minutes. Just talk about what your individual goals are when you first embarked on this journey to what you wanted to do in this industry. And just what it was like before you started, and just some of the lessons you've learned thus far. So, Jerrell.
I've been watching. I want to say 7 is when I started like watching and fall in love with ESPN and documentaries. I study interviews like every day when I'm get home and I'm watching interviews, whether it's sports interviews, entertainment interviews. I'm always studying the art of the interview and just trying to get better at reading books on it. So me in the sports industry, I definitely want to be able to have that one-on-one moment with that big athlete and kill all the questions that everyone wants to know and ask them in a way where it doesn't necessarily hurt his image, but at the end of the day, you're doing the story, like you're trying to get the job done. So I work at ABC 7 right now, and just being in the industry, you learn a lot of politics, both literally and the stuff behind the scenes no one talks about. So just seeing what I see at work every day, it definitely it's expanded my mind in terms of what I can do, how to do certain things, how not to do certain things, how to move in the industry. Networking is so key. Been blessed to go to NABJ conferences. Just meeting even you, Wilson, and everyone else, like the networking is. I remember, I think Wilson and I, we had a conversation. It was like the gap in covering sports in the DMV is very big. Either you're not doing anything, or if you're doing it, it's like familiar faces, like, yo, I see you, or you see me, and then it's just like a head shake. It's like, all right, I see you. So just trying to, shake the right hands and just talk to the right people, and from there, just build that network, and it's not hard after that.
All right, Domo, different role for you so far, just kind of jumping in.
Definitely.
But, what's it been like for you so far? And just stuff you picked up.
Well, just like my good man right here, I grew up. I probably had every slam magazine that's ever came out up until about 2-3 years ago. I used to wake up, read sports section in the newspaper every morning. I can't eat without reading something sports related. So I knew I wanted to do something dealing with sports. I think about sports 24/7, most likely basketball, literally probably 24/7. So I was looking for an opportunity to just network and get my voice out there, my talent out there, my work out there. And that's when, Wilson came through.
Kargeor,
Yep, Kargeor, my good man Leeper, and they just blessed me. And it's been going up since then. I've met so many people, networked with so many people. Because you never know where the next person you're sitting by can put you.
That's real.
Really. So I just plan on keep going from there. I plan on to write more, social media. I love doing that. I'm getting this practice on and with, interviewing people, being in front of the camera. So everything's just going up from here, and I'm just blessed. So.
All right, so we got a few minutes left, and what we're gonna do again. This is kind of what we're gonna do each and every week. There's a little bit of an abbreviated version because as we were talking about before we started, sometimes the hardest thing is just to finally go ahead and start.
Definitely.
So, got to get the first couple episodes out the way for the mailbag, for the focus, and for this Kargeor's World. That's what this is, what you're watching. It's just a reminder for both the Focus TV, Finest Mag, us here, I'm on Sports, same thing. If you guys are looking for a place to advertise of your potential business, contact us ASAP. Got a whole bunch of different ways you guys can get your, plug your business. We got the show. It's digital as well. Digital magazine. Kargeor does an outstanding job. It's
outstanding.
No one better in this area at covering basketball on each and every level. Mm-hmm. Every nook and cranny, any gym you may have heard of, he exists. He's there. As you can see, the latest edition of Finest Mag is out. So please go cop that, do that. You definitely need to. I get excited sometimes just getting a chance to preview the covers before everybody else.
Right.
I don't really have a big creative say, but, it's cool getting a chance to see, just being in the room kind of. And, that's what it's all about, just getting a chance to work, just grind together and go forward. But we're going to use this segment each and every week, talk some sports. I want to thank my cousin Justin for calling in. And that's really what this is all about. And you guys, I know we talk about narrative so much, and this is what I want to take time to do each and every week on Thursday, is just blow these narratives apart. Because people find these narratives, they stick with them, and everybody just hops along.
Right.
And nobody
Yeah.
takes 2 seconds to research it, question it, or anything.
Research is
And
key.
then, before you know it, it's just like a stigma. It is what it is. It never was. Meanwhile, like in the actual real world, that thing never was. But,
Perception is reality to a lot of people. So
you
you
just
can break that narrative. We can create the narrative.
And that's the thing. A lot of people creative, and sometimes they create them and kind of reckless with them. And it pays a toll sometimes. You got a lot of people that are watching stuff don't quite understand what they're watching, why they're watching, or how to watch what it is, and so once just grateful for getting this started. Looking forward to next week, same time, same place, next Thursday. Again, as I tell you guys, it's abbreviated version. And right before this, every week, you're gonna go over to the Focus TV Facebook page, and you guys are gonna see the Focus TV mailbag, and that's gonna be a blast. We had fun doing that today. I know it's only gonna get better each and every week. And don't forget, on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m., the Focus TV is live right here at Bliss FM on the live stream page. You can catch us on our Facebook page, on the Twitter feed. Then every Friday at 10 p.m. on DCTV. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place right here for Kargeor's World. And then before this, over on the Focus TV Facebook page for the Focus TV mailbag. You guys have a good one.
Peace and love.